Welcome to the Author's Corner Review, brought to you by KNEO Radio 91.7 FM. I'm Roberta Foster, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a variety of fiction books. And the first one is called The Avatar, The Return of the Ancients and the Future of America, written by Jonathan Cahn and published by Frontline. The world's most prophetic voice of the century and 9-time New York Times bestselling author Jonathan Cahn reveals how ancient forces have returned to America and are contending for the soul of the nation and dominion over its government in his most explosive book yet, The Avatar, The Return of the Ancients and the Future of America, and it was released by Charisma back in September of 2025. America stands at a dangerous moment in history as ancient forces are seeking to take dominion and control of our future, says Cahn. In The Avatar, Cahn exposes how ancient god kings and goddess queens have returned to the world in modern form and are moving in secret behind major cultural and political events, even the recent American presidential election. The revelations in this book will be explosive, said Cahn. The Avatar will take the mysteries of his previous book, Return of the Gods, to a whole new level and reveal shocking information about America's future and the events that touch our lives every day. The book leads readers through a prophetic journey across the world, tracing the rise of the avatars, beginning in a land where the ancient gods never departed, and follows their path as they re-emerge in the West. The Avatar is a historically grounded and bold read that exposes the spiritual collapse of empires, which is now mirrored by America's path. Donald Trump's rise, fall, and return tied to a mysterious ancient ruler, the stunning truth behind the assassination attempt of Trump and what it actually signaled, the shocking identity of a powerful American figure whose life reflects an ancient, dangerous deity, and what it means if this person rises to power, and what's at stake for the future of the nation and what Americans should prepare for next. There are powerful forces at work in society today, and we must open our eyes to them, said Cahn. The avatars are in our culture and in our nation. They are affecting the world around us and vying for its future, posing a clear and present danger to the world. With compelling evidence and groundbreaking insights, The Avatar not only brings clarity to past events and their underlying causes, but also presents new information that explains what is unfolding in America and foreshadows what may lie ahead. The Avatar was released in September 2025 from Charisma. Jonathan Cahn has been named, along with Billy Graham, as one of the top spiritual leaders to have radically impacted our world in modern times. He has spoken at the United Nations, on Capitol Hill, to members of Congress, and to millions around the world. Every one of his books, starting with The Harbinger onward, has become a New York Times bestseller. And you can find out more about Jonathan Cahn at hopeoftheworld.org, and that is his ministry at Beth Israel at the Jerusalem Center in Wayne, New Jersey. And that's hopeoftheworld.org, the book The Avatar by Jonathan Cahn. And now we switch to kind of a romantic novel called Waiting for Gilbert, Holidays in Hadley Springs, Book 1, and it is written by Tasha Hackett. Tasha's husband had no idea what he was about to start when he asked, "If you wrote a book, what would it be about?" Many years, kids, and books later, Tasha writes with hope and humor to encourage and entertain. Her novels demonstrate a realistic and achievable vision of romance between flawed characters who are loved by an unflawed God. And this book, Cute and Fun Cordelia, is history. From now on, I'm serious and focused. C.J. Thompson. No more snappy one-liners, no more dance parties for one in restaurant booths. Anne Girl is out. Marilla Cuthbert is in. It's time to grow up. If only it were that easy. With less than 2 weeks until a massive work deadline, I signed a 12-month lease on a cottage sight unseen because I couldn't bear to stay in the city another day after my broken engagement, says the character. It's all well and good until the landlord knocks on my door at 2 in the morning. So who knew living next to a house-flipping, cello-playing, swoony-smiling, flesh-and-blood man named Gilbert would be so distracting? And that's Waiting for Gilbert, Holidays in Hadley Springs, Book 1 by Tasha Hackett. And Tasha is in the process of releasing another book called Planning for Nikki, and it can be pre-ordered. That's Holidays in Hadley Springs, Book 2. And the next book is called An Unconventional Lady, and it's written by Sarah E. Ladd and published by Thomas Nelson. She faces the worst ultimatum possible for a woman: marry a man she detests or lose the future she's always imagined. Charming and headstrong, Ella Wilde always knew she was different than other women. Thanks to her unorthodox upbringing as the daughter of Keatley Hall School for Young Men's headmaster, Ella has long dreamed of opening a school for girls that would meet the needs of inquisitive, brilliant, unconventional young women just like her. Girls who longed for the education exclusively reserved for boys. But there's just one catch. Unless she marries before her father dies, Keatley Hall will pass into the hands of a distant cousin. In that case, Ella will be left destitute, and at this point, her only option appears to be an undesirable marriage. So Ella's family had long been proponents of phrenology, the belief that an individual's personality and dispositions were predetermined by the shape of their head. Shortly before her death, however, Ella's mother's views on phrenology changed, and she endeavored to expose phrenology as nothing more than a fraudulent parlor trick. Consequently, she earned the wrath of the phrenologist community, who called her unstable, bizarre, even dangerous, and branded her daughter the same. Now, renowned phrenologist Thomas Bauer is about to arrive at Keatley Hall to speak at the Natural Philosophers Society gathering, and Ella embraces the opportunity to clear her mother's name and her own once and for all. And her partner in crime? None other than her childhood friend Gabriel Rowe, who's grown into an ambitious, handsome London solicitor. Gabriel has his own scores to settle, and when he learns that Thomas Bauer is visiting Keatley Hall, he jumps at the chance to prove himself and right past wrongs. As he is drawn deeper into the unusual happenings, it's clear that he and Ella must work together if they want to unmask the truth. Over time, Gabriel's attraction to Ella's beauty and wit becomes impossible to ignore, and as the lines between professionalism and passion blur, they both must decide what they're willing to risk for happiness. The author Sarah E. Ladd is an award-winning best-selling author who has always loved the Regency period, the clothes, the music, the literature, and the art. A college trip to England and Scotland confirmed her interest in the time period, and she began seriously writing in 2010. Since then, she has released several novels set during the Regency era. Sarah is a graduate of Ball State University and holds degrees in public relations and marketing, and she can be visited online at Sarah Ladd, that's SARAHLADD.com. That's the book, An Unconventional Lady by Sarah E. Ladd, published by Thomas Nelson. And so a quick recap of the books provided for you today: An Unconventional Lady, novel by Sarah E. Ladd and published by Thomas Nelson. Waiting for Gilbert, Holidays in Hadley Springs, Book 1, published by Tasha Hackett. And The Avatar, The Return of the Ancients and the Future of America by Jonathan Kahn and published by Frontline, released by Charisma. And if you would like more information on any of these books, we would invite you to visit the publisher's website. If you would like to hear this review again or share it with someone else, you can find it on your favorite podcast platform or through KNEO.org. This has been Roberta Foster with your Author's Corner review. Join me again next time on KNEO 91.7 FM The Word or your favorite podcast platform.